Welcome back to the second part of our Dopamine Detox series, where we're talking about focusing and eliminating distractions so we can live our life to the fullest through a dopamine detox, aka dopamine fast. You probably already know what a dopamine detox will look like. So the whole point of a dopamine detox is to force yourself to be bored, but then not rely on video games, social medias, or YouTube videos to get you out of it, but rather being productive and getting things done. You'll be shocked to hear the crazy benefits you get from doing a dopamine detox, even for a day. In the first video of the dopamine detox series, we talked about the basic information of a dopamine and if doing a dopamine detox is even for you. And in this video, we are going to briefly go over how you can do the dopamine detox and come out of it better than you ever was. I'll be talking about my experience doing the dopamine detox, how you can also do it, and the insane benefits you get from doing a dopamine detox. So first, let's talk about how you can do a dopamine detox. So basically, you are going to pick one day and you are not going to give your brain much dopamine that is used to, which means no phone, no computer, no laptop, no social media, no YouTube video, no junk food, no talking or texting on the phone unless necessary, no music or anything that is fun and will release dopamine. You are going to have a day of no fun. But what you can do is read a book, write, exercise, take a walk, meditate. Now at this point, you are probably saying, why would anyone want to do all that? And why would that even work? Let me give you guys an example. If you are eating delicious food every day, well, guess what? Now that has become your normal of eating delicious food. And if someone was to ask you to eat something that does not taste so good, you will most likely not eat it. Because you are so used to eating delicious food and the food you normally eat is more delicious. But suddenly if you were in a situation where you have no access to food, now that food that does not taste so good will not actually be so bad, and you will definitely not say no to that. Now that is the whole point of a dopamine detox. It will take out all the nice and fun things you normally do and replace it with boring stuff. Then what happens is that when you are so freaking bored, those boring things now seem fun because you don't have access to all the activities that gives you dopamine. Now let me tell you guys this. You should be writing a lot during this dopamine detox time. What I recommend writing about is what you guys want to achieve and what are the possible steps that you can take to get there and how you can start executing and making that happen. Another thing you guys can write about is the pain that you guys are feeling. Now, pain is an indicator that something is wrong and need to be fixed. But guess what? In today's day and age, whenever we have a problem or in pain, we tend to run away from it and hide behind some temporary pleasure to avoid it instead of taking actions and solving them. That's why people tend to eat more, binge watch TV shows, drink alcohol, because that helps them to forget about their problem for a short amount of time. But when you do a dopamine detox, you cannot run away from your problems because you won't have anything to do to avoid the pain. And guess what? This forces you to face all the problems you have, and this is where you should write a lot about problems or pain you might be feeling. And start asking questions like, where is the problem or the pain coming from? Why do I feel this way? What am I doing to feel that way? How can I fix this? Write down step by step things that you can do to get closer to fixing the problems and start taking actions to solve them. Take your time writing down all your thoughts. You have all the time in the world. I mean, what better thing can you do in a dopamine detox day?
God damn, it's getting too hot in here. I gotta change, hold on.
After the dopamine detox, you probably still want to do those high dopamine activities, so you can still apply this idea and do something like this. You can do low dopamine activities for an hour or two and reward yourself with 10 to 15 minutes of high dopamine activities only after completing the low dopamine task. And that way, you will be motivated to get that done because you know that there will be a reward at the end. But if you do the high dopamine activities first, then most likely you will not be motivated to do things that will give you less dopamine because it does not seem fun, and you will just avoid it and keep yourself busy with high dopamine activities. One thing I want to say before we end the video for the part 2 of our dopamine detox series is that you can do the dopamine detox for a day, but after you get off that detox, if you go back to how you were before you started the detox, then what is the whole point of doing a dopamine detox in the first place? So let me give you guys some tips and tricks that you guys can use to minimize distraction and stay focused on the important stuff. Now, the biggest distraction in today's day and age is our phone and notification. I can recall to when I used to be doing something important and I would just get a notification on my phone and all of my attention would go immediately over to the phone, and I would be lost in my phone, going from one app to another, looking on my phone to see if I got a message from someone, looking to see if I got a notification. Now, believe it or not, those little smartphones are taking over your life. Like, seriously. Let me explain how. Like, it's fine if you decide to use your phone for some reason, but most of the time, you subconsciously use your phone for hours and hours, which is a big problem because you are no longer in control anymore. The phone is. What I did to remove all the distraction from my phone was that I created one big folder in my phone and I added all the apps there randomly, which means if I wanted to go over to a certain app, I would manually have to type that app name in. After I did that, I stopped bouncing around from Facebook to Instagram, Instagram to Snapchat, Snapchat to TikTok. Now doing that, my brain does not get to see the other app and unconsciously click on it and be on it for hours and hours, like we all have done before. Another thing that you can do that I personally always do is turn on do not disturb mode and turn off all the notification. Now, like I said earlier, most likely if you get a notification on your phone, you will instantly go over to look at it and you will quickly be lost in it. But even if you don't open your phone to see the notification, that will keep popping in your head about what the notification could be. Maybe someone liked your picture, maybe she messaged you back, or what could the notification be? So if you are working on something and doing something important, just turn off the notification so you can be in control of when you want to be on your phone, rather than the notification telling you to be on the phone. If I tell you guys that this will change your life, probably would not believe me. But here's the thing, try this for a week and see how much of a difference it makes. Unless you don't have a life and all you do is be on your phone all day long, bouncing from one app to another, now that is even a bigger problem, which we will talk about more in a future video. So my experience doing the dopamine detox was absolutely amazing. I woke up pretty early and I was so motivated to kill the day ahead of me. And let me tell you guys something. I learned that we can get things done so much faster if we don't have distractions around us, and the efficiency of our work will tremendously go up, and the dopamine detox will prove that to you. You will come to a realization that there is so many things that you want to accomplish and goals that you have been putting aside because of distractions, phones, and dopamine that we get every single day from our phones, eating junk food, and things that we subconsciously do every single day that is hurting us. So in the upcoming videos of our dopamine detox series, I'll be showing you guys how lifestyle is before, during, and after a dopamine detox. So if you guys want to see more videos like this and want to improve yourself, then please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. So it will let YouTube know that you will like this kind of videos, and it will show you more of this kind of videos so you can better yourself and be the better version of yourself. With that being said, I will see all of you guys in the next part of our dopamine detox series.